Hey, yo, we back up in here. Stop playing with him. Your boy Ego is back. We got to talk about it. Some stuff going on in my sport. Yeah. All right, Ty Golan was the first person in here. Shout out to my dude from New Zealand. Salute Boxingego and Ego family. Absolutely. Come in, smash the like button. YouTube want to hate so bad, but they can't stop me from making money. They not sending out no notifications, but they can't stop us. Boricua. So he don't want no more boxing. Dude thinks he run the whole. Yeah, let's go. Boricua going crazy. Man, we about to talk about it. King Savage, I see you. What's up? Chad Van Score. Bro, Chad Van Score back for more. Stop playing. $100. I ain't even start the stream and y'all showing love. I don't want to sound mad. I feel marvelous. Hey, we need to get Chad Van Score. You're able to hit a like on the super thanks, super chat, whatever. That needs to be up to 20. We got to get that up. Show love. The man spent $100 for the goal and for the army. Salute Ego's army and pay your dues, y'all. I can't have that many haters. Listen, if we got this many haters, we ain't got no show. The man spent $100 of his hard-earned money to support the best in the business, and it's not even close. I can't have no show unless we can show some love, man. Come on, bro. And the funny thing is, we got big ballers like Chad Van Score. They contribute, so y'all don't have to. You see what I'm saying? They're making this possible by their gracious donation for the brokies that don't want to contribute, that try to siphon all the information. I'm not talking to Ego's army and the regulars. I'm talking about the brokies. The broke jokes. Napa 707. Prophet, I see you. YouTube is fugazi, bro. This is the first live I caught in months. Actually, I haven't been going live, to be honest, to be fair. I haven't been going live except for watch parties. I've been working on other things. But we here now. The GOAT is back live. T-Man, what's up? Yeah, man, we back. We got to talk about your boy Turkey. Yeah, we got to talk about Turkey. This man, Turkey, man. It's going to be a good show. This guy, crazy. That man said he don't want no runners. She's a runner. She's a track star. Bop, bop, bop. Sound like Devin and Turkey falling out. According to Bill Haney, listen, y'all funny to me. According to Bill Haney, he's saying that message wasn't about Devin Haney. And it's funny, I did a video about it, and some of the people in the video, they was like, oh, man, he didn't say Devin Haney's name. How do you know? Bro, I come from hip-hop. You are bums. While y'all been on TikTok, I've been on hip-hop. Big shot, because Alfred Hitchcock, get your rock. Bro, I come from hip-hop. There's a lot of people who will rap a lyric, and they don't say the rapper's name, but if you follow the story, you know who they're talking about. Remember when Biggie said, he said, actor needs chiropractor for cracked jaw. He talking about Tupac. What else rapper was an actor that he was beefing with? Actor need chiropractor for crack jaw or whatever he said. Bro, he was talking about Pac. And in that last freestyle he did in LA, he was talking about Pac. But Pac had already passed. Jay-Z, the king of that, talking about rappers getting chased from the ruckus. He didn't say Dipset name, but we know who he talking about, bro. And it's funny because people are leaving me that comment. They were like, oh, Ego, how you know he's talking about Devin? Shut up. How about that? Shut up. He said Devin better never go to cell block 1. Facts. Bro, he better never go to cell block 1. Facts. But, okay, using the logic of the people who were on my video, like, how do you know he meant Devin? Okay, Poindexter, let's play this game. Who was Turkey talking about then? So y'all don't want to pin the tail on the donkey. So Turkey just woke up and said, I don't want no runners. But he didn't have nothing in mind, and that wasn't at nobody. Come on, bro. Who was he talking about, bro? If it wasn't Devin, who the because Virgil Ortiz don't run. You think he was talking about Virgil Ortiz? He ain't ran. Why would he be talking about Virgil Ortiz? You think he's talking about William Zepeda, who don't run? Bro, he talking about possibly Shakur, but definitely Devin and Skull. And here's the thing. Here's the reality of it. Y'all got to get the likes up. Y'all got to get the likes up. If y'all want to work, let's work. Chad Van Score put $100 on the scoreboard. I'm down to work. I'm ready to work. Y'all not finna mess up what we got going. Bro, I'm keeping it real. I've been streaming for 5 minutes. I could get off right now. Chad Van Score sent $100. That's $100, not even an hour. That's $100 in 5 minutes. The work has been paid for. The work has been paid for. I could get off and my rate will be $100 in 5 minutes. Y'all got to do what's right. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment. Really in that order. Bro, nobody wants to claim credit for what Turkey said, but who was he talking about then? Please let me know. Please let me know who you think he was talking about if it wasn't for the people I suggested, Devin Haney and Skull, and possibly Shakur. For Shakur's fighting next month. So to me, Turkey putting his stamp on it, letting it be known, hey, we ain't into that running stuff. She a runner, she a track star. He letting it be known that he don't want that on his watch. Now, the other thing that's funny is notice he team up with Dana White of the UFC. They trying to implement a UFC style model in boxing. I promise you, this will not work. UFC is the UFC. Go that away. Boxing is totally different to the UFC. Boxing is totally different. This is not going to work. Paying fighters low, trying to force a firefight. Bro, this ain't that. You're Turkey, in my opinion, he doing too much, bro. You can't tell a fighter how to fight. You can't tell somebody how to fight. Oh, excuse me. My bad. And even if you do tell them how to fight, ain't nobody finna listen. And I'll explain in this video. Bro, I call it playing God. Boxing is different to any other sport. Football, basketball, you name it. It is a different sport. Different crowd. Shout out to Kenya B. Thank you. is different to any other sport. The fans are different. Bro, it's like Tupac said, we might fight amongst each other, but I promise you this, we'll burn this down. You get us pit to live and die in LA, right? We fight amongst each other, but if it really came down to like some type of invasion or whatever, boxing fans will unite into Voltron out this month. We might fight amongst each other, but I promise you this, we'll burn this down. You get us pissed to live and die in LA. You see what I'm saying? And speaking of Pac, bro, look at what's happening in LA with La Raza, the Latinos, and ICE and all that. Pac said, it wouldn't be LA without Mexican. Black love, brown pride hit the sets again. Pete Wilson trying to see us all broke. I'm also, bro, crazy times we living in. We in a weird timeline. But anyway, I call it playing God, bro. Yeah, it's hot right now. The block is hot. The block is hot. I call it playing God. You can't play God in boxing. The only thing you could do is rig the fights and fix the fights. If you want to control the board to control outcomes, the only way you could do it is by fixing fights. And that's also highly illegal. So good luck with that. You mess around and get a fair case. Fixing fights is the only way, because you had Ryan and Devin set up for a rematch in October, but Ryan fumbled and lost to Rolly and got clipped up. So there goes your plans. You try to save it with Devin Haney and Teo, but Teofimo ain't listening. And he don't like what you was talking about. Bro, boxers are some of the most insubordinate, defiant athletes on the planet. You ain't finna tell no boxer how to fight. I mean, it's been done. Pacquiao, Horn, Whitaker, Chavez. Nah, I mean, those were some. But I don't know if those are fixed fights more than fixed outcomes. You see what I'm saying? A fixed fight, you could just, like, a fixed fight to me is like taking a dive and stuff. You like fixing the outcome with the judges. Like, that's different. I mean, it's not different, but it's a different extension. Okay. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, let me just read the quote. Turki went on social media and said some bizarro stuff, and we got to get to the bottom of it. Bro, he turned to Aaliyah. I'm sending him a 4-page letter, and I enclosed it with. Bro, the man wrote a dissertation about runners. From this point on, I don't want to see any more Tom and Jerry type boxing matches where one fighter is running around the ring and the other is chasing him. We can no longer support these kind of fights with Riyadh season and the ring. We want to support fighters who leave it all in the ring and fight with heart and pride. Oh my God, bro. So what this means to me is that money is drying up. Y'all listen. Remember when Crawford, my bad. Crawford fought Madrimov. And I did the report. The information said they lost over $10 million on Crawford Madrimov. And I told you, this ain't finna last. You idiots. You meatballs. Y'all say, oh, Ego, you're wrong. Turkey just loved boxing. Oh, Ego, he got oil money. Oh, Ego, money is no object. Turkey loved to lose money, and he don't care how much money he lose. He still love boxing. That's what y'all told me. Remember that? You said he don't care how much money he lose. because it's not about money, and money is endless for them in Saudi. So money is of no consequence. They don't care about losing money. Blase blah. And I said, that's pretty stupid. Did I say that, yes or no? Cap or fact? Let's start there. Y'all gonna give me my credit. Listen, I'm taking my credit from this boxing game. Y'all can't stop me. Y'all gonna give me my credit. Did I say that? I said that's stupid. No business can either A, remain in business or stay in business or wants to lose money. That is the dumbest. If you open up a pizza shop and you spend all the money on the ingredients and you sell one slice a month, that's not gonna cut it, bro. The ingredients cost more than the stove you bought, the coal oven, the brick oven, the dough, the time, the labor, employees, the plates, and you selling one slice. That's not gonna cut it. And y'all told me, oh, but Turki, he don't care. He has a blank check. Yeah, he don't care. Money don't matter. Shit. That money look like it matter now, though. Hey, I'm from the Bay, bro. Tell me where they go. It look like that Turki money matter now, though. Bro, what I gotta say it like E40? It look like that money matter now, though. He talking about he don't want to see runners. Bro, that man, that money matter now. You stupid son of a... That money look like it matter now. Y'all better bow down to me. I told you. I've been right. I told you that Devin Andy and Coach Steven said was out there running. Now, all of a sudden, Turki, now you don't want to see them runners. Bro, Turki said he want to see you fight punches and bunches. He want to see the gunners. He don't want to see no more runners. Bro, he want to see gunners. He don't want to see runners. I bet that money matter now. What y'all gotta say about it? I bet that money matter now. Y'all said that money didn't matter. That Turki, bro. Y'all said that Turki got that unlimited funds. He got that Arab money, bro. That's what y'all told me. Y'all some bums. Y'all should, bro. I should make you shine my shoes, kiss the ring. Y'all some bums. Y'all told me money don't matter. He don't care. Can you be? Tell me that he did. They didn't say that. Oh, I see why y'all miss me. Oh, bro, y'all made me break. I broke the mic. Hold on, bro. What? Bro, hold on. My mic is limp. Ghost ride the whip. Yo, what the? Bro, y'all made me break the damn mic. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Y'all not gonna hear no sound. Oh, hold on. Bro, y'all made me rip the mic off the... Hey, yo, check one. Check. Can y'all hear me? We recording? Bro, y'all got me too. I got too hyped. I got a little too excited. I ripped the mic. I don't even know how that happened, bro. Y'all can hear me? I'm back. Bro, I got too excited. I ripped the mic. I'm too strong. See, I told you, I got that strength, bro. I done ripped I'm the Hulk. I just ripped the mic off the hinges. I do got more mics, but I don't feel like digging for all that when I'm doing this live. All right, you can hear me. Great. Okay, so y'all dumb idiots told me that the money don't matter. Y'all said Turki got unlimited funds. PBC is out of here. Turki saved boxing. So tell me why, in the words of NSYNC, tell me why ain't nothing matter. Bro, tell me why. Is that the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC? I forgot. No, that's Backstreet Boys. I'm tripping. Bro, tell me why. Tell me why Teofimo. Yeah, that's Backstreet. I'm tripping. Tell me why Teofimo said the fight fell apart because Turki offered him X amount of dollars for fight number 2. And then when it switched to Devin's name, he said he ain't paying for it. Bro, everything adds up. They said Turki was making history. Yeah. Shout out to Loso, if you ain't know so. So peep this. Everything checks out. Teofimo be saying some dumb stuff. I get that. The racist stuff, get that out of here. But I told you in my video, the stuff Teo was saying made sense when he started being serious and talking about why the fight really fell apart with Devin Haney. He said, we agreed to a 3-fight deal. First fight was open-ended. I fought Barbosa. Second fight was for X amount of dollars. He said he wanted to fight Boots. They said they would give him that money, the X amount of dollars for that because they thought it was a quality fight. But when it came to Devin Haney, he tried to renege and he tried to change the amount, whatever that amount was, and it was a lesser amount. And Teo's like, no, you said for fight number 2, I'm getting X, Y, and Z. So if you're not paying me what we agreed on contract, then we don't have a fight. Now, Teofimo said that like a day ago on it live. Now Turki puts out this message talking about no runners. It all adds up. It all adds up. Teo complaining that they try to lessen the money for a Devin Haney fight, right? And then now Turki puts out this PSA talking about he don't want to see no more runners in his league. Doesn't that seem like that correlates? Turki don't want runners in his league. People are complaining that Devin's fight was boring and he ran. And then Teo's complaining that Turki shortchanged him in the second fight and the agreed upon money, they said that's not available now. So you can fight Devin Haney, but whatever amount of money we promised you, we're not going to give you. You don't see how this all kind of connects? And then you got Haniacs that can't accept the truth that Devin's last performance was not enthralling. And then they're like, oh, how do you know he was talking about Devin? Bro, who else is he talking about? Skull, maybe? Bro, so if he was having, like, okay, when Beterbiev and Bivol fought, nobody really complained about that fight. Is that true? When Beterbiev and Bivol fought the first and second time, nobody really complained. Is that true? When Beterbiev and Bivol both fought 2 times, nobody really complained and said, I hate this fight. This was boring. Okay, shout out to my man Tao. True. So no other time did he put out this messaging that we don't want runners. We're sick of runners and we're no longer supporting that. So why he ain't do it after Beterbiev and Bivol? Because I told you, to me, Turki is thin-skinned. He don't know fully what he's doing. He has money and resources, but boxing don't work like that. You ain't going to put Tom Brady and Shaquille O'Neal with Crawford and Canelo, and that's supposed to do something. Boxing fans don't be impressed by that. But to be honest, I promise you, boxing is different. Turki need to pay me. He need to humble himself and pay me if he wants some real help, because I tell you this boxing game. I promise you, I swear on everything, because I do a great job at everything I touch. I'm Rumpelstiltskin. I turn everything to gold. But here's the thing. You would be better off and I don't want to say too much because I don't like giving people ideas for free. My ideas cost. You would be better off, instead of Tom Brady and Shaquille O'Neal, 2 month with nothing to do with boxing, right? You would be better off having Canelo and Terrence Crawford promote the fight with a round table with like actual former fighters. Like, I don't know, Andre Ward and Shane Mosley or something. Or De La Hoya, anybody. Well, not De La Hoya because Canelo and him don't get along. But Tom Brady and Shaquille O'Neal do it. Okay, you had Crawford and Canelo on Piers Morgan. Nobody cares, bro. I ain't seen nobody in boxing sharing that Piers Morgan interview. You're not going to, like, you think you can name drop a bunch of people and pay off a bunch of people and, like, pay for promo? It don't work like that. Like, Mr. Beast, he's probably a cool dude. Boxing fans don't give a what he talking about when it comes to boxing. So you could get ISO Speed and Kai Cenat and Mr. Beast and have Crawford and Canelo talk with Mr. Beast. We don't give about that. Boxing fans don't care about that. You're not even tapping into the same, like ISO Speed, he be racing dudes like that Ashton dude. He has a whole different audience than diehard boxing fans. So Turki, he has money, but he don't know what he's doing with the money. I can assure you that, because you're not even tapping to the right audience. Mr. Beast has an audience, obviously. ISO Speed, Kai Cenat, they all have an audience, but you can't just, it don't even blend well. It's like a bad taper. It don't blend well. You putting him on Piers Morgan, we don't care what he talking about. Next thing you know, you're going to have Canelo and Crawford on Andrew Tate. What that's supposed to do, bro? And even if you get hits and get people to watch Andrew Tate, Canelo, and Crawford, they're not finna buy the fight from that. It's like you just wasting money, bro. Do you think it's better for TOA's not fighting Boots? Boots would crush T.O. So, I mean, I don't care. If he got crushed, he got crushed. He talking about black people, so I don't really care. But for his sake, yeah. I mean, he not beating Boots, put it that way. You don't want it with Boots. You better fight Shoe or Sandal. You better fight Chancleta. You know what I mean? Chancla. You ain't ready for no Boots, bro. You fight Zapatos or somebody. You know what I mean? You better off fighting sneakers. Fight sneakers. Don't fight boots. You gonna fight them Timberlands, them steel-toe boots. You gonna get stomped. You gonna get stomped. You better fight high heel out this month. you better fight Vera Wang out this month. You know what I mean? Some high heels or something. So yeah, I mean, for that regard, T.O. get cooked, bro. That little thin ass mustache get punched off. Boots will, bro. T.O. got that thin mustache. He looked like a Frenchman. He looked like Ratatouille. He looked like the chef from Ratatouille with that mustache. Bro, we used to have them thin mustaches in like early 2000s. Here we go. See, why am I even online, bro? Every time I get online, y'all be laughing like, "Oh, Ego, you messed up." Y'all know I'm keeping it real. Every time I keep it real, y'all be saying I'm tripping. Y'all be start laughing and stuff. All right, Teofimo don't got the mustache from the chef from Ratatouille. Okay. Teofimo mustache ain't on Ratatouille. Okay, I'm lying. Bro, I try to tell y'all, bro, he got the Frenchman mustache. This is how his mustache set up. That's Timo Lifu or whatever. Bro, look, y'all see that? Bro, I told you I don't be lying. Y'all be laughing. I don't be lying. I be keeping it real, bro. He got the Ratatouille chef mustache. Rough, what are you talking about? Bro, this Tio went Turkey lowballed him. Look, you see that? Bro, that's Team Malifu. Why I got to chill? So I can't keep it real. Y'all want me to just lie like these other podcasters and whatever. Bro, Team Malifu got that. He got that little thin, that little thin joint. Bro, we ain't had that since like Chingy was out. Pick me up if you wanna come roll with me, and you was my lady. Pick me up if you wanna, bro. That mustache, that genuine ass mustache, ain't been same OG. Even though I might be on TV, I could just be me, bro. I used to have the genuine. My was super thin. Same OG. Bro, I used to have that. Yeah, come on, bro. But I was like 18, you know what I mean? Tio like 27. He said it took 38 minutes to line up. I'm so done, bro. Bro, everybody had that thin mustache back then. Like when Dipset was out. Like back then. Hey, Prophet said he got a Joe Budden pump it up mustache. Pump it up. Bro, that's what I'm saying. That mustache was rocking back then. Everybody had the thin joints. I ain't seen that since Teofimo. Nobody got that anymore. Bro, the man said it took 40 minutes to line up. I'm done. I'm super done. Bro, he said he had to pump it up. I came to get it on. Came to get it drunk. Came to get it on. Bro, here go Timo Lifu mustache out this month. Bro, tell me, hold on, let me zoom in. Y'all can't see. Tell me he don't got the Ratatouille mustache, and I'll stop. Next time you see Timu Lifu, tell me that ain't the same mustache. That little thin Ratatouille joint. Woo! Next time you see him with an interview, I hope he don't try to change it. He see this stream and try to change it. Don't try to change it now, nigga. We done seen it. Bro, that's the Timu Lifu mustache special. Bro, look, we got that Timu Lifu out there. Look, I told you I would be lying. He using that eyebrow shaper. Ah, y'all crazy, bro. Bro, his mustache looked like how kids used to draw birds. Y'all remember that? When you were a little kid and you would draw a bird like that, that's how his mustache set up. It looked like a batarang or something. Bro, remember when you used to draw stick figures? When you had stick figures and you couldn't really draw, so you draw them birds like that? And it would just be like one line, kind of squiggy. It's squiggly. That's how his mustache looked. We be getting sidetracked in them. I can't find one of those bird drawings. What do I type in? T.O. Hold on, what? Hey, y'all tripping in these comments. I'm trying not to read them. Oh, I found it. Bro, look. Remember you used to draw the birds like that? That's how his mustache set up. I finally found it. Y'all remember when people used to draw the bird like that? Like they couldn't really draw. The birds look like bats damn near. That's how Timu Lifu mustache is. You feel me? So yeah, he don't want to fight Boots. That's what that means. What y'all talking about? Anyway, let me get back on Turkey. So Turkey, he trying to talk about I don't want no runners. You get in the ring. Bro, it's always Turkey look like 5'4". I don't know his height, but he looks short. You get up in that ring then. You telling people how to fight? Like, that's not gonna fly, bro. Bro, Turkey had T.O. got the John B. Heard about my past, things I used to do. The girls I didn't know. And I think I'm doing wrong. They don't. Bro, when John B was out, I had the John B taper. Come on, bro. You're my angel. Nothing gonna fall from heaven. Girl, I just wanna love you. Bro, he definitely had the John B. Matt Borgson, I'm worried Canelo card is gonna have only grassroots undercards and just be a Dana White show with Kalen Walsh, who's mid. Shout out to Matt Borgson. I'm not worried. I'm going to laugh because I try to tell y'all, bro, this Canelo Crawford undercard finna be trash. It's finna have the same fights from Jean-Claude Van Damme, Lionheart. Bad boy, bro. Bro, the fights finna be trash. That undie card finna be trash. It's gonna have the same exact fights from Lionheart when they was in the underground parking garage. Bro, remember when he was in the swimming pool? It had a little splash of water. Bro, they finna have the Lionheart fights. The same fights from my boy JCVD. Get this out of here, bro. It's finna be so trash. Bum brawls. Bro, the man said, if you want to be on the undercard, hit me up. Bro, they said it's the biggest fight in boxing history. Biggest fight in the last 10 years. And if you got what it takes, hit us up. Bro, get out of here. These people don't know what they doing. You said it's the biggest fight in modern boxing history, but you don't have an undercard, and send us your audition tape. Like it's casting for a Mortal Kombat movie or something. They doing a casting call. They doing a talent show. This undercard finna be trash. Trash inside a ditch. Just playing. Bro, I hope y'all try to order Canelo versus Crawford on the pay-per-view and then it crash into a ditch. Just playing. Do you understand, bro? I have a feeling. I'm Martin Luther King. I have a dream. This is not, it's going to be I really feel like it's going to be disappointing. I hope you go to Netflix and you try to order to get a new subscription and then it crash. That Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight was buffering. It was buffering bad, y'all. That's why I don't like what they doing. Like I don't like how you doing it, bro. I don't want boxing to be free. because when it's free, you can't keep the riffraff out. So you got people who ain't even diehard boxing fans, and they watching. And like, here's the thing: is like, what are you trying to like? My thing is this: people be like, "Oh yeah, it's good to have a ton of eyes on boxing," but for what? If you don't convert some of them eyes into lifelong boxing fans, then it's not really good. It's just a bunch of eyes. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Like if you have a piece of art and you just open it up to the internet, and then there's people who don't appreciate art, and they're like, "Oh, this looks horrible. This looks like a piece of poop. Oh, this is ugly." They're not here for art. They just trying to troll and leave stupid stuff. That doesn't really do nothing for the art. I really believe that. So I'm always a quality over quantity person. And when you put something behind a paywall, you have a better chance of ensuring that people really want to be here. When you make something free, anybody can kind of be here. And I know Netflix technically is not free, but come on, most people have Netflix accounts. So it's not free for Netflix, but in America, most people have Netflix. People be sharing passwords and all that. Come on, bro. Netflix is not hard to come by. Like if you went to your boy's house and he said he had Netflix, you wouldn't be shocked. You wouldn't be like a slave. "Oh, how you get Netflix? I've been looking everywhere for some Netflix. I ain't never been to a house that had Netflix. Does Massa know you got this Netflix?" Like, bro, you wouldn't be like that. Bro, just hear what I said. If you went to your friend's house and he turned on his TV and he had Netflix and watched and clicked the movie on Netflix, that would be like regular degular. There wouldn't be anything crazy. You went, "Oh, you done logged into the Netflix. How do you get this access to a Netflix account? You shouldn't be on. That's the devil's app. You shouldn't be on that Netflix." "Oh, that's that black magic. It lets you watch the movies for free." Yo, Ego, a smart move for Benavidez is to be on the undercard, right? Why y'all ask a question but then make it like a statement? If you have a question, ask a question. Don't say this, that, and that, right? And then put question marks. Bro, hell no. Why would Benavidez be on the undercard? Bro, that sounds trash. I don't know where you must have had a little sip of that liquor. I didn't know you like to get wet though. Sherm, Dust, PCP, Primo. Okay, so a lot of you, I'm not trying to be a dick, but a lot of you guys ask questions to me, the best in the business, and it's not even close, that you really could resolve by yourself. Let me get this straight. You're asking if Benavidez would make sense for him to be on the undercard to Canelo Crawford. Okay, let's sound this out. Canelo been ducking David Benavidez since P. Diddy got arrested, since P. Diddy been in trial, right? So it's been going on for a minute. Why would Benavidez take his leverage, his brand, and fight on the undercard when Canelo refuses to fight him and is picking another welterweight and fighting him instead than the fight that actually makes sense that fans have requested? Why on earth would Benavidez do that? You thought you was cooking with that. Oh, Benavidez should go in the under. Why? Why would you go on the undercard to a person openly ducking you and giving everyone else that's smaller a chance when they did nothing in the higher weight classes, don't deserve it? I don't care how many times Bud been undisputed. He been undisputed in them little baby divisions. He ain't been undisputed at 68. So he don't deserve a fight for real, but they're forcing it. So why would Benavidez partake in that? Please let me know. It's not like Canelo's like, oh yeah, if I win, I'll fight Benavidez. So yeah, no. Benavidez went to Saudi to fight the winner of Better Be of Bivol. He flew all the way to Saudi Arabia, all the way over there. Was ringside, lend his brand to it, went to the rematch for Better Be of Bivol, and then he was the mandatory for Bivol, and then Turkey got in the way of it and said, nope, Bivol's fighting Better Be of a third time. Nobody asked for a trilogy fight. Why would Benavidez do that? He already went to a fight where he was going to be the mandatory for the winner, and then they left him out. They left him out. I can't wait for this fight because I have a feeling I'm going to be right, and you guys are going to see how stupid this was. Jose, I don't know if you're off Jose Cuervo, but you're tripping. Because a lot of casuals know who Benavidez is. Bro, you're not listening. I don't care if casuals know who Benavidez is. If he can't get the winner, we know Crawford ain't finna fight Benavidez, and we know Canelo ain't been trying to fight Benavidez. Why would Benavidez go to the fight or whatever, or not even go to the fight, be on the undercard for the fight and promote the fight? He don't have nothing to do with Turkey, nothing to do with Ring or Riyadh season, and they actively been freezing him out. And Crawford was lying on him. Crawford was like, oh, I don't think Canelo is ducking Benavidez. Bro, we all know that's Crawford saying that because he got the Canelo fight. If Crawford wasn't in the running, he would say Canelo's ducking Benavidez. But since he got the fight, he don't care. He's selfish. So he don't care about Benavidez openly being ducked by Canelo. So please stop asking me about Benavidez being on the undercard. It's dumb. It makes no sense. I'm very specific, very clear. I'm not like, that's like somebody dissing me and I go on their show. Somebody dissing me and then I help out their party or live stream or event. Why would I do this if they're dissing me? Why you have to understand that boxing at the higher level, when you've established your brand, you go on a podcast, you're giving them, if your brand is big enough, you're giving them an alley-oop, you're giving them views, right? So why would you take your brand somewhere where they're not respecting you, where they've avoided you? You know what else is bad about Crawford Canelo? Two things is going to be one or the other. One, it's going to be insanely boring. Like, I'm not talking about the fight. I'm talking about the buildup. It's going to be insanely boring because there is no real backstory, right? None. They were so far apart in weight. It never looked like they were going to fight. They got a picture of them together. They don't have a backstory at all. There's no backstory because this didn't even look like a logical fight that could even be happening up until recently, right? Every other major fight super fight has a backstory. Somebody tell me a major boxing fight in the last 30 years that didn't have a backstory to it, and I'll prove you wrong. I want somebody to take this challenge. Name a fight that was a super fight with no actual backstory. And to clarify, by backstory, I mean like a conversation that has kind of been preceding the fight long before the fight actually happened, like bad blood. Like, for example, Oscar de la Hoya, Fernando Vargas, they used to be friends. They're both from SoCal, basically. East LA, Oxnard. They used to be cool, right? They used to, I think, run together and all that type of stuff. That's a backstory. Now they're enemies. Mayorga. If you watch the buildup, Mayorga was like, Oscar de la Hoya, he's soft, he played with Barbie dolls, da-da-da. That's good backstory, like good, like, damn, De La Hoya really going to want to fight Mayorga because Mayorga calling him sweet. Name a super fight in modern boxing that had no backstory, no compelling backstory. Mayweather McGregor, that was rumored long before the actual fight happened. And Conor is a superstar. Floyd is a superstar in different sports. Backstory. McGregor had been teasing he was going to get into boxing and he could beat Floyd and all that. Once again, boxing fans are cowards. It's me by myself challenging anybody listening and no one steps up to the plate to prove me wrong. But then when I do static videos, you guys say I'm wrong in the comments. But then when I'm live where I can actually debate, nowhere to be found, crickets. Yeah, Conor assimilated and did what Americans do. Came out to Biggie Smalls, Notorious, trash talk like Floyd. They stole the blueprint. Name a super fight, you bum son of a... Name a super fight in boxing in the last 25 years or so with absolutely no backstory. De La Hoya, Shane Mosley, that has backstory. Mayweather, Pacquiao. I mean, Pacquiao sued Mayweather. They had attempts to make the fight. Pacquiao didn't want to take the needles. So most famously is probably Mayweather, Pacquiao. That got a crazy backstory. Tyson Fury, Wilder, crazy backstory. Fury was fat and then lost all the weight. And then Fury was like Joshua ducking Wilder. Wilder was ducked by AJ. So in steps Fury. Crazy backstory. Where it's like, this sequence of events, this is very compelling. I need to watch this because I need to see how this play out. Blase blah. Right? I don't understand why Turki chose Crawford over Benavidez. Because he has no dibs on Benavidez. The real mega fight would have been Canelo versus Mexican Monster. He know Canelo don't want to fight Benavidez. Okay. Jose Prada don't know about boxing. He said Danny Garcia's Keith Thurman was a super fight, a unified fight with no backstory. Bro, they're in the same division. How did they have no backstory? Bro, again, you guys just be talking to be talking. Keith Thurman had just fought Sean Porter and did 6 million views. Danny Garcia was like the WBC like champion. What are you talking about? There's no backstory. It was like a round robin with all the PBC guys. Errol Spence, Porter, Keith Thurman. Everybody was in the mix except for Crawford because his promotional ties. Would that even be considered a super fight? It don't matter. It still doesn't meet the criteria of no backstory. How is it not a backstory when you're all in the same division, everybody's fighting each other, and you're with the same people. And it was like, okay, Keith Thurman had just beaten Sean Porter. Danny Garcia was a top dude. It doesn't even fit the criteria, so it don't matter if you consider it a super fight or not. He still didn't prove me wrong. Bro, you cooking right now, but nobody wants to say anything because you're going to put him in the hot seat and block him. But you only get blocked if you can't cook me. If you cook me, you get to stay. But they know that's not going to happen. Bro, why would you fear getting blocked if you know you cook me? You're not going to get blocked. They know they're not going to cook me, though. That's the reason. You don't just get blocked for the sake of it. You get blocked if you can't make it make sense. So again, name a super fight that had no backstory. You can't. Even the fights that didn't happen have a backstory. Wilder and Joshua, there's a backstory there. Ego 50-0 in the hot seat, absolutely. Shout out to Joe the Writer. He number one in the chat right now, leading with the best comments. The leaderboard. So anyway, Crawford Canelo, Crawford is not a good trash talker. That's not his role. Canelo, English Canelo is cool, but he has to be provoked. So they were like, this buildup is going to be fake as, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? You just seen Canelo and Crawford sitting next to each other on Piers Morgan. If it was funk, that you wouldn't be sitting next to somebody that close with nothing to separate y'all. Bro, if I see two fighters and they sit next to each other with Piers Morgan, he can't do, what can he do if they started scrapping? He can't do nothing. Bill Haney was on Ego talking out the side of his neck. Bill, he's just not gonna answer no question. He gonna deflect. That's his game. Yeah, hey, wait, hold on. That's Bill. You ask him, hey, did your son look good in his last fight? Hey, wait, hold on. Devin has money. Devin's a millionaire. Bro, okay, what does that got to do with the question? We don't care about the kid money. There's no intrigue at all from fans. Seems like they just happy to collect money from Turkey. That's all this is. Free money. Bro, the worst thing about DAZN and Turkey and Ring and all that, they pick primarily the worst people to endorse it. They pick people that can't make it hot. Like they'll F around get Carrot Top to interview Canelo because they both got red hair. Like, we don't care what Carrot Top talking about, bro. How you gonna get Carrot Top? They'll have Crawford interviewing with Pauly Shore or something. Like, you're about to fight Canelo. Cool, buddy. It's the weasel. No wheezing the Jew. Like, bro, we don't care about Pauly Shore, what he talking about. They get all the wrong people. All the wrong people. Like, Turkey's like, my brother Dana White will do this. We don't care. We're like, Dana, he cool. What he gonna do? Bro, like boxing fans are like, oh, I wasn't gonna order this, but now because of Dana White's involved, so I got to order me some. Bro, what are we talking about, bro? Like, none of the people they pick are like deciding factors that can make the fight hot. Like, nothing Dana White can say is gonna increase sales. What are you gonna do? An F it Friday? What's up, guys? This is Dana White. F it Friday. Canelo Crawford, biggest fight ever. Okay. So you don't even get the right people. Bud coming out with Eminem for the Spence fight. That was on PBC though. That I said Turkey. I ain't saying nothing about PBC. I said Turkey. You talking about him walking out with Eminem, but he walked out with Eminem on the PBC joint. He didn't do that. He didn't walk out on the turkey joint, on the cold cut turkey. So y'all gotta listen. Listen. I'm very scientific. Listen. You can't make a people champion and can't force a big fight. They happen organically. If it's the big fight, just announce it and people will F with it. Rock, I like that. That's what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the bottom line, what Turkey and others don't understand is we control this. The fans let you know what it is and what it ain't. Like, the fans deem what the outcome is. You can't force feed people this is a masterful fight and a huge fight if the public doesn't buy it. You got to get the public buy-in in boxing. Without the public buy-in, it's just you trying to promote. Like, I've seen Bob Arum, De La Hoya, and they'll be like, De La Hoya be like, oh, I strongly believe that Canelo and Liam Smith will do 4 million pay-per-view buys. All right, bro. And then the fight come and the public don't believe it and it don't do 4 million pay-per-view buys. De La Hoya, I think that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney it will break all records. Remember, De La Hoya was like, it will be a top 10 gate. It will surpass Floyd Mayweather. This fight is big. And then after the fight, he like, I paid you all your money. The fight didn't do no numbers. Devin can't sell. You can't fake boxing. You can't fake out boxing fans. We're not dumb, bro. Turkey think he can buy his way into boxing. That's not, I promise you, it's not going to work. You're not going to just buy, Tom Brady. I got to watch the fight now because Tom Brady, bro. Tom Brady, a legend at his sport. What that got to do with boxing? They're going to have like, it's just gimmicky. They gonna have MGK walking out Crawford or something. Like, bro, we don't need that. I don't want to see MGK walk out Crawford. All pure gimmicks. And now Turkey talking about he don't want to see runners. Well, tough titty. You can't stop people from fighting how they want to fight. Well, like, please let me know how Turkey can police people from running. Please let me know how that's supposed to work. Like, you already put out the tweet, say you don't want runners in your league. Cool. What are you going to do? Please let me know what a promoter can do. Like, let's say you put that out and Shakur fights Zepeda and he start running. What are you going to do? Please let me know. I don't know boxing. That's what y'all say. Okay. So let me know. If Shakur start running and people hate the Zepeda fight, which is a very big possibility, right? That is not all action and all that. What are you going to do? Turkey don't know what he's doing. That's why he's not working with Al Heyman and PBC. Facts. They are going to outlaw it in Saudi like seeing a woman's hair. Hey, come on, bro. Bro. Easy. He stopped promoting them. Okay. So, bro, the man thought he cooked. Do you understand how dumb that is? So he says if Shakur runs, he'll just stop promoting him. Okay, don't work with Shakur then. Now what? Turki has no stable, and he's going to be turning away people. You guys do not know what you're talking about. Okay, so if Shakur, I want to see this. I want to see this in real time. If Shakur runs, he already don't have a stable. So let's say Shakur runs. All right, get rid of him. Don't promote him. Devin just ran. Don't promote him. Okay, so now who do you have? Teofimo looked like he exploring different options. So no Teo. That'll be no Devin. That'll be no Shakur. That'll maybe F.A. Ajagba, because some people said he was holding and running too much versus Bakoli. So what are you gonna do? Who's gonna be on your platform? Usyk talking about retirement in 2 or 3 fights, so he don't have much long in his career. AJ talking about retirement next year. So those are good styles, but they're talking about retirement. So who's gonna lead ring and Riyadh cards for the future? Canelo getting up there in terms of mileage. Crawford, if Crawford get done bad at age 38, he might retire. So who's gonna lead your charge if you start X-naying fighters because they fought in a style that wasn't entertaining to you? I don't like that, Prophet. He said Riyadh going to turn into Showbox. I don't agree with that because Showbox was good for what it was. It was like up and coming guys fighting. Even Devin fought on Showbox. Showbox was also not idiotic, wasting hella money. The people on there are usually people in a certain tax bracket, so that kind of makes sense. Turki's overpaying people to have him on their platform or to have them on the platform. Completely different, because Showbox was never going to go upside down because their viewership to payout rate made sense. It's like ProBox. ProBox, they're good for what they're doing. Team Combat League, Showbox, all these people, they're not operating intentionally to lose money. ProBox has some cool fights. Chris Colbert and that Mexican cub. You know what I mean? Erickson Lubin, a little comeback joint. Those are cool. And they're not having to like break the bank to make these matches. Turki is literally wasting money. Let's put fights in Times Square. Flop. Let's overpay Canelo for 4 fights. Flop. Let's put a fight in the Louis Armstrong Tennis Stadium. Tickets ain't selling. Looking like a flop with Berlanga and Shakur. Let's get rid of all runners. Flop. Bro, you're not going to have nobody. Who do you have? Who is Turki going to promote then? Virgil Ortiz? Cool. Okay, that's one person. He not a runner. Cool. Zepeda? Zepeda might mess around and lose to Shakur. What can you do, bro? If Shakur doesn't entertain but beats Zepeda, then what are you going to do? You can't pressure boxers to fight how you want them to fight. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Very dumb. Dumb. Because the thing with boxing is this. If you get crunched up and punched all in your head, it's about self-preservation at that point. If you in there with Tank and he got you wounded and hurt, imagine listening to Turki. Oh, fight with your heart. All right, fight with your heart then and get knocked out by Tank. Boxing don't work like that. Like, this ain't no tough man contact. You're going to get battered and brain damage. Bro, Turki, he finna have the CTE league. I put that on everything. Bro, he gonna have a punch drunk league. They gonna interview the fighter. They're not gonna know where they at. They be like, how do you feel about this fight? You got knocked out bad in the 8th round. Should be coming around the mountain. Where'd she go? Should be coming around the mountain. That's how that post-fight interview gonna be. They gonna be out of here. My baloney has her first name. It's ONCA. She be coming around the mountain. Where she go? She be coming around the mountain. She be coming around the mountain. It's gonna be. It'll be like Bradley when he fought Provodnikov. Because of Turkey. It'd be like the UFC where the fighters got like 14 losses. Excessive lateral movement is a problem. Do something about it. You can't do nothing about it. What you gonna do? Bro, what are you gonna do? Like if Williams Zepeda start cracking Shakur and he's like, this is too dangerous, what are you gonna do to make Shakur be in the pocket like Rocky Balboa? That's not his style. So either A, he's going to have to fight a dumb style, which would be advantageous to Williams Zepeda, or he's going to revert to form and be like, man, this guy hit harder than I thought, and he like the Terminator. Let me just box. You can't control somebody. Like, bro, you guys, some of you guys are idiots. That's just it. You can't control boxing. That's like going to the Olympics and watching a runner and being like, I don't like how they breathing. Stop breathing like that. Bro, that's how they breathe. You can't stop. All they're trying to do is win the race. As long as they're not breaking the rules, like illegally or PEDs, you can't stop somebody from being well within the rules of whatever sport, but you don't like it. I don't like the way they breathing. I don't like, they're like in basketball. Remember when Lil Wayne said, I'm awkward like Cartwright, up with a shot ugly, but my arch right. Come on, dog, bark, bite. Bill Cartwright. He had an ugly shot, but if it land, if he make it, he made it. He didn't cheat. He didn't travel because you don't like how the shot looks. If it's effective, it's effective. You can't, I'm awkward like Cartwright, up with a nick. Shot ugly, but my arch right. Come on, dog, bark, bite. Fork in the road. I'm all, like, you can't stop somebody from balling how they ball if it's within the rules and just because you don't like it. You ever seen a basketball player like that? Like, you don't like they shot. It looked ugly. But, hey, if it works, it works. Like, what are you going to do? As long as you're not cheating and PED'd up, you can't stop it. Sean Marion shot. Like, yeah, bro. Or like, okay, there's some old school quarterbacks. They're not running, bro. And I notice with white people, they don't do this. They don't do this at all. With white athletes, I'm going to put it out there. And y'all ain't going to do nothing. With white athletes, they let you play how you play, right? This new NFL league has a lot of like quarterbacks that are like mobile. They can run, but they also can pass. So it makes them very dangerous. Deshaun, Patrick Mahomes, Cam, you know what I mean? People like that who have played recently that could do both. There's a lot of white quarterbacks that are old school quarterbacks. They can only pass. They're not going to like run like Mahomes, Lamar Odom, facts. I got to put on Baltimore. You know what I mean? Tom Brady, he not like, he in a pocket and he can gun the ball to you. He not running crazy all the time. Brett Favre or Drew Brees or whoever. You know what I mean? And there's no criticism for it. It's like Brady win games. Peyton Manning win games. Eli win games. If you're white, there's no pressure to not play your game. But then when it comes to black athletes, it's always something different. It's always a different standard. Like, I get it. I mean, I too criticize certain like Devin Haney versus Ramirez was just a boring fight. I'm all about sweet science. It wasn't a good fight, and I don't think it was a good performance. But he felt he had to do that to win. It is what it is. But there's times where it's like Floyd Mayweather, and he's actually boxing at the highest of level, and they still complain. That's what I'm talking about. Floyd got criticism that wasn't even warranted. Like, people will say he ran versus Canelo. How he run? He was right in front of Canelo. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference. You can't control sports like that. Like, wouldn't the NFL be better if all the quarterbacks ran and passed? Wouldn't the NBA, like in terms of just action, it would just be nonstop? Wouldn't the NBA be crazy if everyone dunked? What are you going to make a rule that, hey, you can't Steph Curry and just keep shooting? You got to dunk? You can't control sports like that. Steph Curry's not finna dunk every time. Shakur's not going to sit in pocket and stand and trade with you when you're a power puncher and a volume puncher. So Turki could put out all the dumb little tweets and messages he wants. You know what I mean? It's like not going to work. Yeah, it's like telling Tom Brady he can only run the ball. You ain't going to tell no top athlete how they got to get their job done. And it looked bad because Turki, it's easy for him on the side. You don't have to do one sit-up to do what you do. So it's easy for you to say, oh, you should fight like this or do that. You're not doing one crunch, one pull-up, running 1 mile, and you trying to tell the fighter how to get the job done and what you'll tolerate. I mean, Turki is not doing a good job of eliminating this Turki is a dictator notion at all. He really isn't. And there's so many compromised media. I'm the only one saying this. These other dudes were saying Turki's saving boxing and stuff. And I'm like, pump your brakes. Let's see how this pan out because there's some questionable things here. And now the Haniac content creators, notice this. The Haniac content creators, they were often the people who pushed Turki is killing PBC and he's taking over boxing. Now they have a problem because Turki put out a message that affects Devin and fighters like Devin. Now all of a sudden they have a problem. But you were the same ones saying that Turki was saving boxing, taking over boxing, and the future of boxing. But now because he said something that affected more than it affects them, now they care about it. See, that's the thing I learned in life. People don't care about things until it affects them. Like people will vote for a president and then they don't care. They don't want to listen to what other minorities and other people are saying. Then the president gets elected and then start making decisions that even impact them. Now all of a sudden they're like, hey, I made a mistake. But you didn't care. You didn't. When the minorities were telling you that this presidential pick would be problematic, you didn't care because you didn't feel like it affected you. The moment it affects a person, that is when everybody, now all of a sudden people care. You have Haniac content creators who were openly praising Turki, saying he was the savior in saving boxing and putting on all the great fights. Now, the Times Square was trash. Canelo's fight was trash. You had back-to-back fights that all ranked amongst the lowest amount of punches thrown in history in a championship fight in back-to-back nights. Now they've all of a sudden, they're starting to see the light. Turki's putting out, hey, no runners in my league. Now they're starting to see the light. Yeah, they said he was saving boxing, taking over boxing. Exactly. Now they're like, why would Turki say that? Why would he subliminally diss Devin? Oh, now you care. Now you care. Oh, that's how that works. The man said, "No more blocking. You got to keep your hands down." Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. You can't make. That's not even boxing then. If you have to have your hands low, you know what I mean? Like you just making up new rules. Boxing don't work like that, bro. Turkey wanted like Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Like he want the Roman Coliseum. You got to fight a tiger if he say so with a dagger. It entertain the crowd, or you'll get offed and get sprayed up with arrows. Bro, get him out of here. Until he get his act together, get him out of here, bro. Talking about you can't run. Bro, I'm going to do anything I want within the rules of boxing. How about that? And people should really be questioning Turkey at this point. Here's why. Turkey has his favorites. How come he ain't saying nothing to his favorites? For example, Hamza Shiraz, a Muslim fighter, fought in a Muslim country. He looked horrible. He looked horrible and wouldn't engage with Carlos Adames, and he looked like he did not want to win that title. Why'd you go to his corner and try to help him out and push for a knockout? He a ring ambassador. So why are you putting out this no Tom and Jerry style runner information, but then there's a Muslim fighter, he just came off a horrible performance where he didn't engage. You reward him, you reward the Muslim fighter that just fought in a Muslim country, you reward him by putting him as the main event with Edgar Berlanga. In a new division, he's done nothing. Why he get that opportunity? And you try to help him out in the corner. Why does he get this opportunity when, to be honest, he looked worse than Devin Haney? Because Devin Haney didn't lose a round. He just didn't look scintillated. He didn't look like the older Devin Haney in terms of the offense. But there's no one out here that was like Ramirez was winning. And then Devin, he took baby stands where he would like piece a couple punches together. Hamza Shiraz looked horrible. He lost like every round damn near. So how's he get rewarded? Bro, how does he get rewarded? A Muslim fighter who's coincidentally the ring ambassador, he get rewarded in a brand new division with a money-making fight or whatever. He's probably going to get good money to fight Berlanga in America, in New York, where Berlanga's from. So why don't you spread the love? Don't just make it about like Devin Haney's and Shakur type of people. What about Hamza Shiraz? Why don't you be like, I'm putting Hamza Shiraz on timeout because he looked horrible in his last fight? Hey, my boy from Bompton is tripping. Prince Savage said Turkey trying to make doghouse rules. That is funny as, bro. He said Turkey want doghouse rules. Bro, he think he Mayweather now. Turkey weather. Bro, you ain't never lie. Turkey want doghouse rules. That Turkey weather. That's his new name, bro. Bro, Floyd Turkey weather. Floyd Turkey weather want doghouse rules. He said, y'all better stop this running. Turkey weather is crazy work. Bro, I don't care. That's what it is. He Turkey weather. That's your new name, cuz. Bro, he said doghouse rules. TBE. Bro, you're not the Geppetto, bro. These fighters ain't Turkey weather thinks he's Geppetto, and these fighters are Pinocchio. Cause I'm telling you how boxing works, bro. I done seen it. Live fights, behind the scenes sparring with some of your favorite fighters, all that, right? Been in the gym when they're just training by themselves. When fighters are tired, when fighters are hurt, It's about self-preservation. You don't want to get knocked out. So you got to do what you got to do to make it through the round. Turki has unrealistic expectations if he thinks he could put out a tweet and a fighter's just going to be like, oh, I must make Turki proud. And then that whole making Turki proud is horrible because Martin Bakole, he made you proud, took the assignment on late terms, and you got him knocked out by Joseph Parker in 2 rounds. So you see how making Turki proud, how far that gets you? Martin Bakole, he did everything you wanted. He flew in the day of, got no sleep, weighed 315 pounds. He weighed 315. He was trying to. Bro, Parker was like, bop, bop, and hit him. Bakole said, he tried to shake it off. Bro, I'm like, what the hell? That I knew Bakole was probably in trouble when he tried to eat that Parker shot like he was a grizzly bear, like Terminator. That was so stupid. And he got knocked out like 2 seconds later, bro. Watch the fight again. In the Parker fight, the man had no sleep. He was like 320 pounds. And Parker was like, bop! And hit him hard. Bakole said, like, he tried to shake it off like it wasn't. Like, nah, bro. So that's what Turki wants. He wants you to fight like a cyborg, like Bakole, and just get stretched. Bro, if you're a boxer and you're begging to be on Canelo Crawford card after he just said you got to fight like a cyborg to be on here, you're an idiot. You're truly an idiot. You're probably broke. You're a broke fighter. Chill, I respect Turki. I ain't chilling. I don't care what you respect. I don't know you, cuz. Turki's God complex is next level off the chart. Kamal perfectly stated. He said chill. I ain't chilling. I don't know you, cuz. I don't care what you talking about. You start a YouTube channel. And that's a dumb comment anyway. You said Turki treating Crawford better. If Canelo knock his goofy out, we gonna see if he treat him better. What are you talking about? Bro, y'all better hope Bud do all this legendary stuff you talking about. Because if he get beat the fuck up, then I want to hear about how Turki treated him so well. You ain't even seen the outcome yet. Bro, y'all better hope Bud do what he did to Errol Spence to Canelo. Because if he don't, then holla at me with the Turki treated him so well. Turki might have set this man up. If Canelo don't respect, yeah, he said chill. Who is you, cuz? We don't know him. He talking about chill. Bro, you don't pay no bills over here. We got to see what happened with the boy Bud. Because he's just gaining weight. The man eating Chef Boyardee, gaining weight. We going to see. We going to see how this play out. I can't wait, bro. This is going to be a mess. And I'm going to be right here laughing. I'm going to be laughing in y'all face when y'all see how this play out. I can't wait. And I know y'all hoping and praying I'm wrong. And it's not just about Crawford losing. That's just an opinion. I don't care if he knock out Canelo. But I just feel like this fight is going to be an embarrassment, disappointing, and doesn't live up to the expectation. They're doing all this pump faking, just like they did with the Times Square card. Oh, biggest fight in boxing history. Oh, you've never seen nothing like this. Oh, Netflix, 1 billion homes. All right, bro. In my opinion, I don't think this does better than Jake Paul and Mike Tyson in terms of numbers. That's my honest opinion. Mike Tyson is world renowned, bro. You could post a picture of Mike Tyson, people would be like, oh, that's Tyson. Young or old. These young kids, there's not that many people that are where the celebrity is before their time and they're going to know. Like if you took some people from the 80s, like Don Johnson or Tom Selleck, these young kids would not know who these guys are. Even people from like the 90s, you post a picture of Chingy, They might not know who that is, bro. But Mike Tyson, they know Muhammad Ali's and Mike Tyson's and Floyd Mayweather's. So Mike Tyson got a way bigger base, and he's a known. Mike Tyson has like killer aura. Canelo ain't been looking great. Bud is not as known. And Bud's last performance, he didn't look like Errol Spence level good. I'm telling you, this is not the fight that y'all saying. We gonna see. E-Man, what's up? Crawford isn't a household name. Bro, the UFC thought he was Kendrick Lamar. You have an organization as big as UFC, they thought it was K-Dot. Tells you everything you need to know. They don't know who Crawford is. Boxing fans do, but the public doesn't. They thought it was Kendrick Lamar. Peekaboo. I just put some buggers in the chain. Peekaboo. Yeah. Taking my baby to school, then I pray for it, because it never been cool. Bro. Writing testament, put her in the Louvre, that's definite. Paint pictures with the nipple. A celebrity do not mean integrity, you fool. I'm a good man. Shake a hand, firm grip. Ooh. Bro, they thought it was Kendrick. What are you talking about? It don't kill my vibe. It don't kill my... They didn't even know who he was, bro. They're like, black guy with twisties. It must be Kendrick Lamar or Keek the Sneak. One of the two. Maybe that's Keek the Sneak. Have a lost y'all. Still with me. Keek. Bro, they think all black people look alike. They seen black skin and twisties. They said that got to be K-Dot or Keek the Sneak from the Bay Area. I'm sipping like. Have a lost y'all. Still with me. Keek and the Sneak. Y'all don't know about that Keek. Have a lost y'all. Still with me. Y'all think Crawford will do better than Charlo? Hard to tell, bro. Charlo had a couple years younger Canelo, so maybe. I don't know. Have a lot y'all still with me. Canelo and the Cake and the Snake. Bye. Bro, Crawford in the new tax bracket, he not trying to claim his BM. He like, I ain't never been married. I'm sad I gotta do this. I'm single. Bro, who asked? Crawford be doing some weird stuff, bro. Why you tell us that? Bro, we was talking about the fight. You just randomly put that. Man, I had to do this. But I'm single. I can't say that like Neil. I ain't sipping out. I'm sipping out something in my own. Bro, why did he do that? Bro, out of nowhere, Crawford said, yeah, I'm single. Ninja, I can't do that like Nino. I ain't tripping on that. I'm sipping out something in my own. Boy, say you got a baby. Bro. He was like, man, I'm sick of everybody asking me, who asked you that, bro? Who asked? Oh, bro, it's a bunch of dudes. What dude is like, man, I wonder if Crawford is taken or single? What dude? Bro, it's a bunch of sausage in here. What sausage was just like, man, that gap tooth guy, I wonder if he's taken or available. I sure would like to know. Like, bro. Who asked for that? He was like, man, I hate that nowadays you got to take to the social media to really set the record straight, but I'm single now. I ain't know where the wife at. Bro, we didn't ask, we was asking like, are you fighting in Legion Stadium? We didn't ask nothing about your shorty, man. We didn't ask Crawford nothing about that. We asked if you could take a Canelo punch at 68. Is it at the Raiders Stadium? We didn't ask what your marital and relationship status was. Like he applying for a credit card. You gonna put, oh, are you single or married? We didn't ask that. We asked why you was holding Turkey hand, cuz. You was holding Turkey hand. Turkey made you hold his hand, cuz. We was asking about that. We didn't ask about your wife or ex or whatever. We didn't care nothing about that. You lucky Turkey paying you, because if you having relationship stuff, your child support, don't he got like 14 kids? Bro, you got the Wayans family. You better hope. Bro. Child support, crazy. You better have all your kids live with you. Cheaper to keep her there, boy. I said it's cheaper to keep her now there, boy. That's crazy. That's a crazy situation, bro. Bro, how you get the biggest fight of your life and you single all of a sudden? That's crazy, bro. Bro, people change and they get that real money. You know what I mean? Bro, you was seemingly with her for forever, and then right when you get this big fight, now you're not together? I don't know. Man. And to be honest, I don't like that before a big fight, people seeming directed. That seemed like a switch up. That seemed crazy. Didn't Bevel leave his wife after the Canelo fight? Bro, that Canelo money breaking up happy homes. He said Bevel left his joint. Bro, the Canelo curses continue. Don't fight Canelo if you in a relationship, bro. That Canelo fight, the Canelo sweepstake gonna end your bro. You gonna be like, change your heart. Bro, that Canelo sweepstake will end a happy home. That's crazy. That is insane. I ain't never heard of that, bro. You get the Canelo fight and then lose your relationship. Bro, you got to sell your soul to get the Canelo fight. You got to lose your relationship to get a Canelo fight. That's true. Beaver left his joint. She was going crazy too on the social media thing. Bro, that Canelo money hit different. You get that Canelo. That boy Triple G probably broke up with his chick right after that. Hell no, bitch. Hell no. Piss out, guys. Bro, I guarantee you, my boy Golovkin, he left his shorty right after the Canelo fight. Hell no, bitch, I'm out, guys. Sex, drug, guys. Golovkin, I think he did too, bro. I'm not even playing. I'm pretty sure Triple G left his joint after that. And he left Abel saying, hell no, Abel, bitch. These bitches, guys, bitches ain't shit, guys. Bro, he... Oh, my God. That Canelo money is real. Bro, it don't matter who you are. You leaving somebody. You mess with Canelo. Bro, I promise you, I think Golovkin really left his girl. He was in a committed relationship. Hell no, guys. You got it bad when you're on the phone. Bro, he left his chick too. Bro, that Canelo money hit. Payday. That's why Canelo be payday. You want the payday? Bro, Canelo would break up. And Canelo happily married. Ain't that something? Bro, Canelo, his stuff is good, but he gonna mess up your relationship. You take that Canelo fight. Bro, there's not one fighter that fought Canelo when he was the A side that their relationship really stayed intact. Miguel Cotto, the only one that broke the curse. And he probably retired after that, though. Bro, my boy Cotto took he broke the curse. Everybody else was getting clapped up. He said Berlanga left Fat Joe. Bro, the Canelo curse make you leave somebody. You're going to leave somebody out this. Caleb Plant, he stayed true. Okay, Caleb and Cotto, they broke the curse, but a lot of them other dudes. Billy Joe Saunders, he broke up with a diet, got fat as hell. Yeah, so Billy Joe Saunders, he broke up with organic food and ate himself at a house at home. That boy Billy Joe Saunders look huge. He talking about he gonna make a comeback. You gonna make a comeback where? Golden Corral? He look big as hell. Where are you making a comeback? On some chicken wings, round 2? Buffalo Wild Wings out this? Nando's out this month? Bro, what? Billy Joe Saunders look huge. That's Billy Joe quarter pounders now. He look big, bro. Hey, I ain't trying to I don't want to get canceled. But how do extremely fat people, how they got so much money? Bro, do you seen these fast food prices? You go to McDonald's, it's like 15 to order. No matter what you order, it's like minimum of 15. How do fat people get all this money? I'm really trying to understand this, bro. They be ordering 8 large pizzas. How you got money for that? What do you do for a living where you can afford 8 large pizzas daily? Nobody really talk about that. So you get Social Security for being fat? What? What? You get Social Security for being fat? Oh, man. That's crazy. Nah, but these new prices is not really cheaper. Bro, the Filet-O-Fish this big now. You got to order 20 of them. It's different, bro. No, I'm talking about that My 600-Pound Life and all that. They be on that 600-pound drinking 2 liters of Mountain Dew like they shots of alcohol. They don't care, bro. My doctor said, bro, on one of them shows, the 600-Pound Life, one of the funniest scenes, it was a fat black dude and a fat black chick or whatever, his wife or whatever, and she got on the scale, and the fat black dude said, "Damn." That's all he said, but it was so funny. How you gonna say something? But the way he said it was so funny. I know y'all seen that episode. She got on the scale, her number read, and he said, "Damn." It might have been Dr. Now, one of them shows, bro, when she stood on that scale and he said, "Damn." That took me out, bro. Yeah, he was big too. How you gonna say damn to her? You big too, bro. That was so funny. Y'all trying to get me canceled. That Don Cheadle he was like, yeah, I'm 86 or whatever. He said, "Damn." That was funny too. That was funny. That was a funny episode. Don Cheadle was wild. He was tight about it. Hey, y'all got to get my likes up so YouTube can promote my lives. Anywho, Turkey talking about don't run in my league. You can't do nothing about it. What you gonna do? You gonna hold their money? Let's say Shakur runs. What you gonna hold his money? Withhold his money? You can't. That's illegal. You can't do that. What can Turkey do to stop a person from fighting however they want to fight within the rules? That's why it's a weird statement that he even put that out there like that. I don't want no more runners. We're tired of these runners. What you gonna do? Ego, what's your honest opinion on Turkey? I've been giving you my honest opinion. What you mean? You ain't listened to the show? Turkey is, I guess we're calling it ambitious, but a lot of these ideas that he's coming with are stupid. Nobody else is willing to say it, but I'll say it. There's a lot of people, they're probably relying on Turkey to cash checks. They need Turkey money, so they would never go against the grain because they're not relevant without Turkey. They're not making no money without Turkey. Like, a lot of these promoters were probably in the red until Turkey came, and then that helped them. So they're not going to be candid and open to saying it. Only the person such as myself that is honest with his community and don't rely on any one affiliation to make a living. I could talk about what I want to talk about. These other dudes can't. Like Coppinger. You know what I mean? He has to be subservient to Turkey in the ring. And if Ring comes out with a fight, oh, that was a great fight. But I have the ultimate job security. Here's why. When you get bossed around like that and you can only talk about certain things, you can never beat a person like me who talks about all things, right? Like the Haniacs. Imagine going to a content creator and Devin can do no wrong. No matter if he is wrong or if he does wrong or doesn't look good, they can never say it because they're paid off by Team Haney, right? You're not going to be as relevant or believable because no one's above criticism or challenge. You know what I mean? So a person like me who keeps it real at all costs, I'll always have a place because people come for the truth. People don't want to hear somebody with a battery in their back. You'll never be remembered for that. I tell you my honest opinion and I support it. These dudes, like, they all gang up and hate on Tank, right? You're not going to be remembered, bro. Because you don't stand for nothing. You don't have no integrity. You don't stand for nothing. That's always going to fade away. It'll be the people like me who speak his mind unapologetically, unwavering, that'll always be legendary and remembered. Yeah, keep it all the way unbiased since time I've been watching for a decade. Facts. Yeah, like even the Teofimo situation. Teofimo be saying some dumb stuff when it's anything about race and black people. All that's dumb, goofy. Get him out of here. But when he elaborated why the Devin Haney fight fell apart, you got some people who are Haneyacks. They won't admit that Teofimo actually is making sense as to why the Devin Haney fight fell apart. It was very simple. Turkey promised him a number, and then when Devin Haney's name was they filled in the blank with Devin Haney's name, he said he tried to change the number and lower the number. That would be a problem for most people. If a job told me they're going to give me 25 an hour, I accept, and then I'm about to start and they say, oh, we're giving you 17 an hour. No, doesn't matter if I can do the job. It's not, because some people are like, oh, he ducked, it's scary. It's not even being scared. You're giving me what you told me you would give me and what I signed on for. Otherwise, it's no deal. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense, because best believe if I do a brand deal or any type of deal and they say they're giving me this amount of money and then they try to rescind it without me agreeing to this new terms, then that's not going to fly. Like, bro, there's going to be a lawsuit or something. We're going to have to figure that out. You're giving me what you said you were giving me, period. And then when he said, Devin's team keep attaching their name to me. Devin didn't perform and look good or look special in his last fight, so they really need me, right? And he says that Devin, what are his options? Who is he going to fight? These are valid points. The Haniacs won't tell you that, but these are valid points, because guess what? Who is Devin going to fight? Ryan seems to be out. That rematch seems off the table for 2025. Teo doesn't seem to be like that happen. That is who's Devin going to fight now? Name a fight for Devin that is great but not dangerous as hell. Listen to what I said. Name a fight for Devin coming off the Ramirez performance that you think is a great fight, but it's not super dangerous. So take Boots out of there because that would be extremely dangerous for Devin Haney. Take Conor Benn out of there because that would be extremely dangerous for Conor Benn. Showed he could take punches at 160, whatever, 160. First time up there. He could take Devin's punches, in my opinion. So what are Devin's real options, especially with Turkey putting the no running clause in there? Who can he fight? Okay, maybe Hitchens. Hitchens got to get past Kambosos. That's one thing. Two, who wants to see Hitchens versus Devin Haney if Turkey, or not even who, but how is Turkey going to pay for that if he just put in a message, I don't want boring fights and runners? That has a potential, Hitchens and Devin, to be a slow burn type of fight. So Turkey's basically making it sound like he not trying to buy fights that don't guarantee entertainment value. So Hitchens versus Haney seem like the perfect formula for a fight that may not deliver spicy action. So again, what are Devin's real options with Turkey? They have no dibs on Tank. Tank fighting Roach. So Tank, take his name out there. Who is Devin going to fight then, bro? Barrios is fighting Pacquiao. Rolly's probably waiting for the winner of Pacquiao. Trying to tell y'all, it's looking ugly. So Teofimo, what he was saying was making a lot of sense. A lot of people, because Teofimo's weird racism antics or whatever he's doing, they factor that into everything and let that overshadow everything. That is his own bag. We don't condone that. But if he says something else that makes sense, it makes sense. He's saying that Turkey offered him a lower number than what was previously agreed. That's why he's not fighting Devin Haney. That makes perfect sense, because if you did that to me, I'm on the same type of time. I'm not fighting for a lower amount than what we agreed on. It's bad for Devin Haney too, because his weigh-in was Bill Haney talking. But now the Bill Haney talk don't hit the same. No one really cares what Bill talking about now. Like, boxing is like that. You know what I mean? You can't you gotta win. You gotta look good. Otherwise that trash talk don't hit the same. Like, even in combat sports, like, look at Conor McGregor. Prime Conor McGregor, he was talking the most trash. But then when you lose to Nate Diaz, you lose to Habib Nurmagomedov, you lose to Poirier, you know what I mean? And then you've been inactive. That trash talk don't hit the same no more. Like, he might say something funny or whatever, but it don't hit like Prime Conor, who is like knocking out Jose Aldo. There's no way it can. Because it becomes more unbelievable. Bill Haney just put out some of the dumbest rhetoric that we've seen in this year in boxing. He said that Devin Haney is Debo of boxing. It is just dumb. So Devin is Tiny Lister Jr. He might be tiny for T.I. wife. That tiny, but he ain't no Tiny Lister. What are we talking about, bro? Talking about he Debo. Well, who did he Debo? Why he ain't Debo Ryan then? Like, if you Debo, then why you ain't Debo Ryan? Why you ain't really Debo Jose Ramirez? And if you really think you Debo, then Ryan must have been Craig with that brick because he had you laid out. Me and my grandmama gave me that chain. Facts. That's what I'm saying. And like, I've preached about this a lot over the years. Exclusivity matters. Bill Haney is too available. He doing too many interviews on Twitter too much. Like that lessens it. Let Devin disappear for a minute. Make people miss him. Make people curious. You're too present. No one cares when you stay out there. Like, y'all don't notice, like, I be dipping out, not doing no lives, then come back and do a live. I don't always speak. Sometimes I don't have nothing to say. You know what I mean? And instead of forcing it and always being ever present, I'd rather just dip and handle my other stuff and then come back when there's a reason for me to speak. You have a lot of content creators that do the same thing. They try to oversaturate the market, but it just makes you too accessible, right? Bill Haney's too accessible. He doing interviews with YouTube channels and 200 subs. Why? Who does that? If you're a real celebrity, can you imagine Kevin Hart doing a stream with a YouTuber that got like 10,000 subs or like a low number? But to each his own. So yeah, Bill Haney's trying to hype up his son. I understand, but it just looks stupid. It looked dumb. Oh, he's Debo. Okay, whatever. Denzel just told Michael B. Jordan the same thing. Don't overexpose yourself. Why would they watch you in theater when they see you on IG all day? That's what I'm saying. This new generation is whack. They don't understand that. They think by being more available, y'all got to read 48 Laws of Power. I've been saying that for years, haven't I? Right? They think like, oh, me, I'll get the public's favor by always being in front of your face. Like, you got boxing content creators. They got an opinion on everything. Keyshawn Davis, this, that. There's certain subject matter that I don't even waste time talking about. You know what I mean? I try to focus on what the public needs from me and what I have a real strong opinion on. You know what I mean? Some of these people have an opinion on everything. It on Kendrick's album, Lil Wayne, Carter 6. And I'm not saying have an opinion. I'm talking about a public opinion. You know what I mean? Carter 6, the Super Bowl, basketball, NBA, WNBA, NFL, boxing, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. Like you too focus on like almost everything. Yeah, Abdullah Mason, he handled business and took over the show. Fair play to him. So, yeah, anyway, Turkey, good luck with this whole message. That ain't going to do nothing, bro. When the person Mike Tyson has a quote, everybody got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. And when they get punched in the mouth, if it's some heat, no one going to be worried about, oh, Turkey told me to fight with honor and all that. It just doesn't work like that. Oh, Jameson Childress, I got your Cash App. Thank you. Shout out to Jameson Childress. He sent a Cash App. That's my guy. Like, imagine if you like get in a fight and somebody hit you in the head with a baseball bat. You ain't gonna be like, oh, but Turkey said to never back down. Like, nobody care. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody care about that. If somebody Barry Bonds your dink and just hit you with a bat and you like barely conscious, you're not going to be like, Turkey told me to never back down and no retreat, no surrender. All that stuff out the window when you're hurt. So you guys can look at the tweet from Turkey and be like, oh, he said no more running. You can't prevent that. If a guy gets hurt, he might run, he might clinch, you're doing whatever you got to do to survive. You're not going to take the head up fade and like, what's worse? Turkey dropping you or getting reamed by Turkey or getting knocked out in front of thousands of people and turned into a meme. So this whole Turkey trying to adapt a UFC model, go over to the UFC. Get that out of my sport of boxing, because this ain't boxing. Boxing ain't the UFC. We like what we like. You can't try to infiltrate and change the status quo of what has always been in boxing because you have money. So that's my opinion. I think Turkey is the rich kid with money, but a lot of these ideas is funny. Like, why do you have Canelo and Crawford on Piers Morgan? How does that move the needle to get people? Like, yeah, Piers Morgan got a base, but like boxing fans don't care about that. You got Tom Brady and Shaq interviewing them. And then it's like, to be honest, like, there's just a lot of people who are questionable in boxing, bro. You got Crawford. He always do these weird interviews with like, almost like weird. And by weird, I mean like not dedicated boxing type of podcast. I'm not saying you can't branch out. You do whatever you want. But like Crawford, like for example, Crawford was with Henry Cejudo and Kamaru Usman. They didn't even know what they were talking about, bro. Henry Cejudo was talking about Errol never unified. Wrong again. And then Kamaru Usman was like, I watched your fight in Australia where you got knocked down by a Jamaican. What are you talking about, bro? What Jamaican knocked Crawford down in Australia? Well, you just made that up. But this is who Bud decided. That's why I say bad business Bud. This is who you're doing interviews with, bro. That's not even like well-schooled, well-researched people. One dude saying Errol never unified when he unified the whole division outside of the one belt Crawford had from day one of being a welterweight, being Jeff Horn. And then the other dude saying he got knocked out or knocked down by a Jamaican in Australia. This is who Crawford decides to like interview with. Weird. I find that weird, bro. And then Crawford act like he hate boxing media. He act like he hate boxing media, but he like, man, you YouTubers don't know what you're talking about. You'll say that to, why is Crawford say YouTubers, he'll say YouTubers don't know what they talking about. He talking about me. That's how I take it. But here, peep this. Tell me if I'm lying. Crawford will say, you YouTubers don't know what y'all talking about. But then you went on a whole podcast, they saying you got knocked out by a Jamaican. I would never say that because I know that never happened. They saying that Errol Spence never unified. You was just on a podcast. So that's what I'm saying. The podcast game is super oversaturated, right? Super oversaturated. Where it's like everybody could do a podcast, but the thing is not everyone's like well-schooled research and care about boxing enough to know it. But Crawford, this is what he does. People like Crawford are very selective. They'll call out YouTube boxing and say, you YouTubers don't know what you're talking about. But then you was just on Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. I ain't never put out no piece of information that was as off as what they was talking about. You got knocked out and dropped by a Jamaican. I ain't never said no crazy stuff like that because I know boxing. So who really don't know boxing, bro? Dana White, he just announced a fight, tagged Canelo, and then he put a personal trainer as Crawford's handle. I never would make that mistake. So who don't know boxing for real? Y'all can't beat me. I know it hurts. I know I'm pretty. I know it hurts you. I don't make those mistakes. Name, like, have I gotten a prediction wrong? Absolutely. But I don't make egregious mistakes like thinking Crawford is some personal trainer because I don't know his account. And then what's worse is Dana White's the promoter. You would think that his handler or whoever does it would take the extra step to make sure we're tagging the right people or say, hey, write your handle down on a piece of paper, you know, something. I barely even have misspellings in my titles. That's how serious I take my job on my YouTube titles. I don't really have spelling errors. Like some of these fighters got complex names. like vodstick or something that's not like spelled like typical American English. I'll make sure that I spell the man's name right. You guys don't really see a bunch of metadata errors in my content because I go the extra step. I have these little safeguards in place to make sure that I'm performing at an elite level. You just said the reason Crawford was on the podcast, Dana White, those are Dana guys he interviewed with. Yeah, but this was before the fight was even announced that he was on that podcast. But I don't care who set it up. That don't matter. I'm talking about Crawford, Bad Business Bud, constantly talk about YouTubers don't know YouTube boxing, don't know boxing. But then you went on a podcast and they're making egregious errors about you and about Errol Spence. That I don't care who set it up. That don't matter. I'm more focused in on why you don't call out Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. Just like Devin and Bill Haney. They was singing Turkey's praises. He's saying something that most people feel affects Devin or is talking about Devin when he's saying no runners. Bill ain't got nothing negative to say about Turkey. Bro, these people are not, to me, that's not solid. That's not a solid move. Not a solid move if you could call out YouTube boxing for being ill-informed, but then you can't call out MMA fighters on a podcast and they're saying things that boxing YouTubers would never get wrong. Or at least a person like me, I can't speak for everybody. So if you're willing to call me and YouTubers out, then call out the people who are really effing up and saying dumb stuff on these podcasts because you don't want to interview with boxing podcasts. Bro, Crawford can come on my show and as men, we can have the conversation. We gonna see who knows what. I'll take that any day. Just give me a time and some notice. Well, I'll take that any day. We'll see if I know what I'm talking about. Same selective thing happened in his wanting to fight Crawford before Crawford started beefing up Canelo. Canelo saying he didn't want to fight Bud for the same selective reasons. Bro, I'm not a fan of this fight. It is what it is. I mean, I'll watch it. I'll cover it for you guys, but I swear on everything. I'm not really to me it's just a fight. It's not like, oh, I'm so geeked. Like a true super fight, I'm geeked. Canelo Golovkin, Mayweather Pacquiao. I'm super geeked. Mayweather Canelo. I was geeked for all those fights. This fight is just like something to do. You know what I mean? Bud don't want that smoke. I know. He knows to say that outlandish to people who won't call him out for it. That's why these fighters be going on certain podcasts because they know they can't get called out because the people don't even know enough to call them out. So they rather just go with the flow and then there's no criticism. Because if you're not educated enough on the sport to know what to criticize or to fact check someone, then you could get away with saying stuff. But a real boxing head would be like, hey, you said this and that. Bud and Canelo should both retire and call it a day. No, they want to rob the bank. All right, I'm about to get off, but should I say one last thing or should I just say it in another video? I'm going to let the fans pick. If y'all want me to say it, type say it. If enough people type say it, I'll leak it right now before I make a video about it. Another thing about Canelo Crawford that is hilarious to me. If y'all want me to say it, Kamal want me to say it. Okay. Prince Savage, Bompton want me to say it. Yeah. Kamal, tell me if this is funny. Okay. Bad Business Turkey. Let go. Turkey has money and these people are like groveling and like doing whatever he says because they want some of the gravy train. I find this very funny. Notice Turki used people as a stepping stone to get where he wanted to be. And then the moment he gets there, he turns his back on all of those people. Let me explain. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I think it's safe to say that all fights that Turki's done in terms of America, Canelo Crawford, even though I don't really care about it, will probably be the biggest fight. The Canelo Crawford on Netflix is the biggest fight that he's ever done. Is that fair? Let me start there. Turki doing Canelo Crawford on Netflix is the biggest event in America that he's ever done out of all of his fights. Is that fair? Okay, correct. Shout out to Jameson. So let me keep going. You work with Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren for all these like smaller fights. Richardson, Hitchens, Cambosis, Devin, and Ramirez, Rowley, blah, 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 blah. All these fights leading up, you work with Frank Warren, Golden Boy, and so Oscar, Eddie, and Frank Warren. You get the biggest fight of your repertoire or resume, you give it to Dana White. That's funny. Not Eddie Hearn, who's been loyal and calls you his excellency and all that. Not Frank Warren, who beat Eddie Hearn 5v1, keep beating Eddie Hearn, did Fury and Usyk, other fights that were good for your brand. Not Oscar De La Hoya. Like people in boxing, 3 promoters in boxing that have helped your shows. Golden Boy gave Ryan Garcia up for your Times Square main event. You didn't give Oscar this look. You didn't give this look to Eddie. You didn't give this look to Frank Warren. And you didn't give this look to DAZN. So imagine DAZN got all these other weak Turkey piddly fights, right? Like, I don't even know what fights he put on. Like Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. You getting little fights like that. And then the biggest fight you've ever been involved with, you don't use none of your boxing promoters. You use the UFC president, Dana White, who's not really a boxing promoter. And you don't use DAZN. You ditch DAZN and put it on Netflix. I find that funny. No one else is talking about this but me. No one in boxing. I find that funny, though. So it's funny because all these people were kissing butt, and then Turki didn't even include them. He's like, nah, Dana White TKO. Nah, Netflix. So imagine being DAZN. DAZN could have had the biggest fight that they probably would have this year with Canelo versus Crawford, and then they would charge a pay-per-view, but Turki rather give it to Netflix for free. Turki and Dana are buddies. Turki helped finance an MMA movie for Dana. What does that have to do with it? I didn't say. Obviously, they have a relationship. He decided to give him the fight. But that's not my point. My point is all the people that have been loyal to Turki and playing his little game, as soon as the business made sense, he bailed on them. He bailed on DAZN. He bailed on all his boxing promoters and Oscar does not like Dana White. Dana White just got the fight. So Dana White has no boxing credentials. Oscar can say, my company put on Canelo, Golovkin, 1 and 2, or this and that fight. Ryan and help put on Ryan and Tank, or Ryan and Devin, right? He has those stats that his company's been involved with. Dana White don't have none of that, but he gets this fight. DAZN been putting all these like minuscule Turkey cards on their platform, and then now the big one, you would think that DAZN gets rewarded But now their biggest fight goes on Netflix. There's no point in having a DAZN subscription. That's a good point. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. So DAZN got like shafted. They really did, because I would be mad if I put on 100 weak fights that no one really cared about, that weren't going to make us like real money. And in the fight with, I guess, that has the best fighting chance financially, he gave it to Netflix. I would feel a type of way. I would probably feel the type of way. Like for me, imagine I had a regular guest on my show and I helped them get where they want to be and build up. And then they get this crazy deal, and then they just keep me out the equation. But I helped you get here and you don't bring me on. I'll feel salty. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? So I find it funny. Like people are like, oh, ego's mad. Why? It's not me. I don't care. They can fight. It's funny that Turkey jerked DAZN, jerked Eddie Hearn, jerked Frank Warren, and jerked Golden Boy. So that's the thing in business. You got to understand you're expendable. You're expendable, bro. You can always be replaced. And I think Turkey just showed you that. All these people kiss Turkey's butt and like, oh, his excellency. And then when the business made sense for him, he moved on without y'all. He moved on without y'all. He didn't need y'all. So fair play to Turkey. All's fair in love and war. Turkey's like, man, we to Netflix. Nah, I don't care about DAZN. So, and to be honest, that's kind of weird too, because you kind of build up with DAZN. Like no one would even know who Turkey is without his DAZN fights. But he built up to that level where he was able to attract the Crawfords and attract the Canelos. And then now he's taking his business elsewhere. That's funny to me. Like, imagine, like, hear me out. I'll go a step further. Turkey put Canelo and Skull on DAZN. Horrible fight. Horrible card. Turkey put Crawford Madrimov, an okay fight, on DAZN. But then now you got the bigger deal, Canelo and Crawford, and then you exclude DAZN. DAZN has nothing to do with this fight. How is that not funny? So Turkey used DAZN and these Frank Warrens and Eddie Hearns and Golden Boys, Oscars, as a stepping stone, built up with them, and then now it's like the takeover boxing. Or not takeover, TKO, my bad. Somebody said TO and I thought of takeover. But anyway, now it's Netflix and the big fight on them and the big fight with Dana White. So it's funny how that plays out. That's why I don't kiss nobody but. Like, bro, like you got to stand on your own. You got to stand on your own. I'm not begging for acceptance. I'm not begging no person, because when it comes to business, business is business. And people, if they can use you, they'll use you. If they need you, then they need you. If they don't, this is what happens. Turkey gave the zone Shakap Twitterson and Joe the Plumber. That's what I'm saying. He gave him Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy versus Shakur. You better find somebody to love. Don't you want somebody to love? Bro, he gave him Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy. But then for Canelo Crawford, he taking him to Netflix. He shopped it with Netflix. I love it. I love it. I find that so funny. It's funny how people would turn. Turkey's like, I don't want this on no DAZN. We want this on Netflix. So, hey, Netflix did with it. They're such a big brand. It was just more attractive to him, and he took it there. And now DAZN. Imagine DAZN, right? And they got to be like DAZN season next on DAZN, blah 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 fights, and then Canelo finna fight Crawford on Netflix. Like, I'm not even being funny. Katie Taylor Serrano card and Crawford Canelo on Netflix. That's a better lineup than what DAZN got going on. Tell me I'm lying. Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor 3, and Canelo Crawford. That's better lineup than Richardson, Hitchens, Kambosos. Hey, Kamal, he hating big time. That's funny. Bro, he hating big time. So, anyway, that's how the cookie crumbles. That's how the cookie crumbles at all. Oh, he got blocked? Say less. You're out of there. Got him. So, yeah, Turkey snake DAZN, snake Eddie Hearn, snake Frank Warren, and snake Golden Boy. They all got left in the dust. And then Canelo Crawford, his biggest brainchild, is happening on Netflix. I love it. No loyalty to the business he stands on. Welp can't be mad at Turkey when he is moving like a true nomad that he is. What you see Turkey doing is not anything unusual about how nomads do. I mean, it's business, so he did whatever he felt was best for his business. It happens. I read Rihanna hired some makeup chick to be the president of Fenty, the Fenty Savage or whatever. And then the chick got an offer from another makeup company for more money. And then she just bounced on Rihanna. It's business. It happens. You know what I mean? That almighty dollar. It's all about that dollar. It's ironic. The one guy who Turkey couldn't screw over is the guy whose company is still thriving. Long live PBC. That's what I'm saying. And PBC, I'm glad Jameson said that. PBC was outsmarted everybody because they never got burnt. They put Pitbull and Rayo on a card, 2 PBC fighters. So it don't matter. The winner, which was Rayo, went back to PBC, and Pitbull went back to PBC. David Morrell, he doing a one-off, and then he'll be back on PBC. So that's how you do it, is like you lend out your talent for when it serves both of y'all, and then you bring them back. Not like Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, you gave up your whole stable to this man. Even Golden Boy. Bro, Golden Boy, they leased out Ryan, and he got cooked by Rolly. And now Ryan's whole stock just took a major hit. Bro, look how bad. If Ryan was coming off of the drug stuff with Devin and Turkey wasn't involved, Golden Boy wouldn't have put him in with Rolly. They would have gave him a cupcake. That's how they move. They would have gave him Mercita Hester or something like that, coming off a long layoff and the drug test failed. See, that's what I'm saying. Turkey is crashing out other people's stables. It's easy to do that when it's not your stable. It's like if you have a nice and tidy house and somebody dirty come into that house, they don't care about having a drink on your table without a coaster. You got to tell them, nah, put a coaster down. Nah, take your shoes off. Some people just come in your spot and dirty it up, track mud in it. You know what I mean? So it's easy to like body somebody stable when it's not your stable, when it's Golden Boy, when it's like Boxer and Bacoli. You burning out Bacoli, got him getting knocked out and looking mid. It's not your stable. So, and then now you got this no running clause, which is further proof that that Turkey is inexperienced at this level of developing boxing. This is not how you develop fighters. I'm not about cherry picking, but at the same time, you have to develop fighters. Like if a person gets cooked, you don't want to just throw them in the fire. You have to preserve their shelf life. They just came off a rough performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just dumb. So I can't wait for this Crawford fight too, because we're going to see. If Crawford get cooked, and then now he's like, oh, I want more slugfest and less running and all that. This is not how you manage boxing. I'm trying to tell y'all. That's why the play, I'm exposing what y'all should have been keen to. The play is this. They're trying to make this like a UFC model. Remember, Turkey said that boxing need to get like the UFC where losses don't matter. You know why? Because he's trying to run it like Dana White run the UFC. So inevitably, you're going to see more fighters with horrible resumes and horrible records. That's why he's trying to change the whole culture of like, hey, we got to stop sliding fighters because they have 7 losses. No, we're going to do what we want to do. If a fighter's resume is cooked, then it's cooked, and we're going to talk about it. And their star power is not going to be that great. I'm telling you, UFC is different from boxing. You guys will see. If you try to run it like the UFC, you're going to have a lot of people with cooked records. And it's not even because it's the best versus the best. It's called burnout. You can't put someone in a tough fight and then a tough fight and then a tough fight and then a tough fight. Most people aren't going to survive that, bro. That's how that works. And to be honest, if you challenge somebody too much, it don't matter who you are, you're going to probably succumb. Like you could be a great soldier, but if you put them in Iraq for 4 years and then pull them out, and then 2 weeks later you put them in Afghanistan, and then you pull them out, and then 2 weeks later you put them in another Vietnam during a war, like, bro, you're going to burn that person out. It don't matter if it's a good soldier or not. You're going to burn them out. It's inevitable. So trying to run boxing like the UFC is perhaps the dumbest thing I've heard. Trying to tell people how to fight and all that. You can't control that, bro. Unless you're going to get in the ring and take their spot, then you could control it. And show it, like, let's see Turkey show us how to fight better Biev without running. Let me see it. Like, for example, Crawford is moving up all this weight and Turkey put on no running clause. If Canelo's hurting him, what is Crawford supposed to do? Just stay in pocket and bang and show he got heart? That's dumb. That's so dumb. And you guys are going to see. I can't wait. That's all I'm going to say. I'm out.